All right, so we're diving into this Arsenal win against Brentford.
The big one.
Yeah, a big one.
Huge for their title hopes.
Exactly, and we're not just looking at the scoreline here.
No.
We really want to understand why they won and what this means for,
The bigger picture?
the bigger picture. Yeah, the title race.
The title race.
So we've got tons of stuff to work with here.
We do.
Post-match interviews.
Expert commentary. We've got tactical breakdowns.
Like, we've got it all.
All access.
Yeah.
It's fascinating because we're not just hearing from Arteta.
Right.
We've got the players from
Yeah.
both sides.
Arsenal and Brentford.
Arsenal, Brentford.
Wow.
And then you've got,
Those big names.
the voices you know from Match of the Day.
Oh, yeah.
Mikel Owen.
Karen Carney.
Look at a lot.
That's-
Yeah, the whole gang's here.
So it's like we're really getting...
Under the hood.
Yeah.
We're going beyond just what the headlines tell you.
Exactly. We really want to understand, the tactical shifts.
The standout performances. How this one game
Ripples out.
ripples out across the Premier League.
Exactly.
It's all about understanding the why,
Yes.
not just the what.
Well, why not the what? I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Cool.
before we really get into the nitty-gritty,
Set the scene.
yeah, let's paint the picture for everyone.
All right.
Arsenal going into this one.
They needed a win.
They needed a win, right?
Absolutely.
Liverpool's breathing down their necks.
At the top of the table.
Top of the table.
Which pressure is on.
Pressure is on.
And let's not forget,
Brentford.
Brentford at home.
And there's no pushovers. They are not.
At their stadium.
22 points already earned.
So this was not going to be a walk in the park for Arsenal.
Not at all.
Plus,
Oh, and on top of that,
Arsenal's squad was looking
a little thin.
a little thin. Yeah.
A few missing pieces.
Saka's out injured.
Yep.
Havertz is down with illness.
Ilmika.
Even Rice was rested.
Probably still carrying those knocks.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
Right off the bat.
you can feel the pressure on Arsenal.
You can feel it, right?
Yeah,
And they delivered.
they did.
But that first half,
Ooh, that first half.
I bet Arsenal fans are getting a little
Restless.
restless, a
A
little.
little bit, yeah.
You could see that Arsenal were in control.
Yeah, they had the possession.
Yeah.
But the passing lacked that zip,
That zip.
that urgency
Yeah.
that we've come to expect from them.
Right. It was almost like they were
Lulling Brentford to sleep.
lulling them into this false sense of security.
Yeah.
And Brentford almost took advantage of that too. Almost. Remember that Mbemo shot
Oh, yeah.
that just
Skimmed past the post.
skimmed past the post?
I thought it was in.
I thought that was in for a second.
I thought for sure that was going in.
Yeah, that was a wake-up call for Arsenal.
Absolutely.
It showed that even with all that possession,
Yeah.
they weren't creating
Clear-cut chances.
clear-cut chances.
Yeah.
And then, bam!
Brentford scores?
He scores first.
Mbemo again.
Mbemo again.
Classic case of Brentford capitalizing on a defensive lapse.
A defensive lapse.
And suddenly the Gunners are trailing.
The tension was palpable.
You could feel it
You could feel it.
at the Emirates.
But thank goodness for Eddie Nketiah.
He was there.
He was there.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time.
Classic striker's instinct.
Did what good strikers do.
Absolutely.
To slot home the equalizer.
Vital goal.
Vital goal right before halftime.
Right before the break.
Yeah, halftime couldn't come soon enough for Arsenal.
No.
But whatever Arteta said in that dressing room,
Ooh, I'd love to know.
I know, right?
I wonder what he said.
Because they came out a different team.
Completely different.
This wasn't just about tactics. This was about
mentality.
mentality. He injected something into them.
He did.
Okay, let's talk about
Set pieces.
set pieces.
Arsenal's secret weapon.
Arsenal's secret weapon.
They score again from a corner.
Yeah.
Gabriel
Rising above everyone.
rises above everyone to head it home.
I mean, this is their 11th goal from a set piece this season.
A length.
This is not a fluke.
This is not a coincidence.
This is clearly
They're working.
training ground work.
Training ground.
Yeah, they're putting in the work.
They are putting in the work.
It's not just the training, though, is it? It's the mentality.
The mentality.
They attack set pieces
With such conviction?
with such conviction, like they expect to score.
Yeah.
And then there's Gabriel's celebration.
Oh, the
He
celebration.
whips out an Arsenal scarf,
He's got the scarf.
holds it up to the fans.
You can feel the emotion there.
The emotion was palpable.
You could feel it through the television.
Through the television. Yeah, and then moments later, Nketiah stripes again.
Again.
Brentford just couldn't clear their
He
line.
couldn't clear
Oh, he was there
to pounce.
to pounce.
Classic Nketiah.
Yeah, that second goal from Nketiah was all about
Hustle.
hustle.
He just simply wanted it more.
Wanted it more.
And of course,
being in the right place helps too.
right place, right time. That's what it's all about.
Right place, right time.
As a striker.
Then to top it all off,
Oh.
Martinelli with this beautiful composed finish.
Oh.
That finish.
What a goal.
I mean, this goal was huge for Martinelli.
It was.
Because some pundits have been questioning
his scoring output.
his scoring output this season.
He hasn't been quite there.
This was a statement, almost like he was saying,
hey, I'm still here.
hey, I'm still here and I can deliver.
And I can score goals.
Beautiful goals.
Beautiful goals.
Speaking of young talent,
Oh.
let's talk about Ethan Nwaneri.
A 17-year-old prodigy.
17 years old.
Making his first Premier League start.
Its first Premier League start.
Filling those big shoes left by Saka.
Filling those big shoes.
And he did not disappoint.
So positive.
So brave.
Skillful.
Always looking to attack.
Always looking to attack. You can see why Arteta has faith in him.
Oh, yeah.
This kid.
He's fearless.
Fearless, not afraid of the big stage.
Not at all.
And it speaks volumes, I think, about the quality of Arsenal's academy.
Absolutely.
Now let's hear from the other side.
All right.
Brentford's manager.
Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank was surprisingly frank.
He was.
In his post-match comments.
Yeah.
He acknowledged Arsenal's quality.
He did.
But admitted that his team's defensive errors cost them dearly.
They did.
He specifically called out
their struggles defending set pieces.
Set pieces again.
Yeah.
He actually said Arsenal are probably the best team in the world at scoring from set pieces.
Wow.
Strong words.
Oh, do you know?
Given their record this season.
It's hard to argue with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
11 goals?
11 goals?
They're doing something right.
Yeah, they're doing something right.
Frank also felt that Brentford could have done a better job clearing their lines. Preventing those.
Second chance opportunity.
Second chance opportunities.
You know, you give Arsenal that many chances, they're going to punish you.
They're going to punish you. Yeah, and they did.
And they did.
So this was their second consecutive home defeat.
Oh.
Which has to be a concern for Frank.
It has to be.
Especially considering how strong they've been at their stadium.
Yeah.
So where does this leave Arsenal in the title race?
Well,
they're still 6 points behind Liverpool.
6 points.
But this win
keeps them right in the mix.
Keeps them right in the mix.
The pressure is still on Liverpool.
The pressure on Liverpool.
Absolutely.
Arteta kept stressing that.
One game at a time.
One game at a time mantra.
But
you could see this win.
It meant something more.
Meant something.
For him, to the players, to the fans.
They showed resilience.
They do.
The ability to find different ways to win.
Different ways to win.
That's essential for any title contender.
Absolutely essential.
They didn't let that early setback rattle them.
No, they didn't.
They dug deep.
They dug deep.
Found their rhythm.
They did.
And ultimately deserved the 3 points.
I think so too.
Okay, so let's dig into
a little bit of this.
Some of the tactical analysis here.
Tactical analysis.
Remember how Arsenal's tempo was a bit slow in the first half?
It was a little pedestrian. Yeah.
A little bit.
They were passing, but it was almost like they were sleepwalking.
It's like they were going through the motions a little bit.
Going through the motions, yeah.
Yeah.
Both Michael Owen and Ian Wright pointed out that Arsenal are often at their best
when they're playing that quick one-touch passing.
Yeah, but surely the players know that, right?
Well,
why not just come out with that tempo from the start?
It's not that simple.
Okay.
Both Owen and Wright explained that playing at a faster pace involves more risk. Or more likely to give the ball away.
Right.
Some teams prefer a more controlled approach.
Well, I see.
To minimize those risks.
So it's a tactical decision?
Absolutely.
Sometimes you have to be patient.
Yeah.
Build up, play slowly, wait for the right moment.
Wait for the right moment to inject that pace.
Inject that pace. Yeah.
Is this delicate balance, knowing when to control possession and when to hit the gas pedal?
Exactly.
And in this game, Arteta clearly made the right adjustments.
At halftime.
At halftime.
Second half, Arsenal was a different beast.
Different beast.
He unlocked that Brentford defense.
Unlocked it.
Yeah.
Speaking of attacking players.
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus.
He seems to have found his scoring boots recently.
6 goals in 4 games.
Incredible turnaround.
Incredible turnaround, and he's doing it while playing in a deeper role.
Oh, yeah, that's the interesting thing.
A deeper role?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So Arteta's been experimenting with Jesus' positioning.
Okay.
Instead of being the out-and-out striker,
yeah,
he's dropping deeper to help link up the play.
So he's almost acting as a playmaker.
A bit of a playmaker.
As well as a goal scorer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's...
It's testament to his versatility.
It is.
That he's able to adapt to this new role and still be a goal threat.
But could this new role be hindering his goal scoring potential?
It's a valid question.
Some say Arsenal still need to sign another striker.
Yeah.
Even Jesus himself has said he prefers playing further forward.
Closer to goal.
Closer to goal, yeah. He was actually quoted as saying, "I can always score."
It's just about being given the chance.
It's just about being given the chance.
Yeah.
So there's this debate about how to best utilize his talents.
It's an interesting debate.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Arteta does going forward.
Right. Stick with this deeper role for Jesus, or
We'll bring in another striker.
bring in another striker to allow Jesus to play closer to goal.
It's a tough decision.
Yeah.
I don't envy Arteta.
No.
But-
regardless, there's no doubt that Jesus is a vital part of this Arsenal machine.
Absolutely. His
His
movement,
creativity.
creativity, work rate.
His work rate is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're all crucial to the way Arsenal play.
Yeah. He's a real asset to the team.
Okay, we've talked a lot about Arsenal.
We have.
Let's give Brentford their due.
Okay. They really made Arsenal work for this win,
Yeah, they did.
especially in that first half.
Especially in that first half.
Thomas Frank
Yeah,
had some interesting things to say about their approach.
he did.
He was particularly frustrated with how they defended set pieces,
Makes sense.
which makes sense. It's clearly an area where Arsenal excels.
They excel.
Yeah.
He also felt that they could have done a better job clearing their lines.
Yeah, preventing those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, that Arsenal just thrives on.
Thrives on.
They're so good at getting those second and third chances in the box.
Yeah.
So
Some valuable lessons learned for Brentford, even in defeat.
every game's a learning experience.
Every game is a learning experience.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm always curious to hear what the commentators have to say, because they often...
They have a different perspective
They do.
watching the game from up high.
Yeah, they catch things that we miss in the heat of the moment.
Absolutely.
So what were they saying?
Well, both Owen and Wright pointed out that Brentford's goalkeeper,
David Raya
David Raya,
could have done better
could have done a little bit better
on a couple of those Arsenal goals.
on a couple of them.
Especially that first Nketiah goal.
Yeah.
It looked like he could have pushed.
The initial shot a little wider.
Yeah, but it fell right to Nketiah for an easy tap-in.
It did.
And on that second goal from the corner,
Yeah.
they felt that Raya hesitated coming off his line.
Yeah, he wasn't
Assertive enough.
punching the ball clear.
Punching the ball clear, so a bit critical of his performance.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But they also acknowledged
Yeah.
that Arsenal's set pieces are incredibly difficult to defend against.
Incredibly difficult to defend against.
And to be fair to Raya,
Yeah.
he did make some good saves.
Yeah, he did, but
True, but those two errors were definitely costly.
in a tight game like that, those fine margins can make all the difference.
Make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Speaking of fine margins,
There was that controversial moment
Yeah.
in the box.
in the box,
When Nathan Collins
Nathan Collins went down,
went down.
claiming a push.
Yeah, claiming he was pushed by Martinelli.
By Martinelli.
Brentford felt it should have been a foul.
They did.
But the VAR review?
Vieira took a look,
VAR took a look,
and they upheld the referee's decision.
upheld the referee's decision, so no foul.
No foul.
What did Owen and Wright think?
Well, Owen felt that Collins went down a little too easily.
Okay.
He even made a cheeky comparison to a previous incident with Gabriel.
Oh.
He said, I'll go back and be petty and talk about the Newcastle and Gabriel.
When they got his two hands on Gabriel.
He got his two hands on Gabriel.
Little dig at Brentford there.
Little dig, yeah.
Yeah.
But Wright was a bit more sympathetic to Collins.
Okay.
He felt that Martinelli did have his hands on his back.
Yeah.
And in those situations,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a tough call for the
It
referee.
was a tough call.
Yeah.
So, a bit of a difference of opinion,
A difference of opinion.
but ultimately, VAR had the final say.
VAR had the final say.
And the goal stood.
And the goal stood.
It's a reminder that even with VAR,
Yeah.
there's still subjectivity
There is.
in refereeing decisions.
Absolutely.
Some things will always be
Open to interpretation.
open to interpretation.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the game, right?
It is.
Always something to discuss and debate.
Always something to argue about.
Always something to argue about, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we've covered a lot here.
We have.
Before we move on to part 2, what are your key takeaways for Arsenal from this match?
Well, I think first and foremost, their resilience.
Resilience?
Going behind early in a hostile environment
Yeah.
could have rattled them,
Yeah.
but they stayed composed
Yeah.
and found a way to win.
Found a way to win. That second half performance was a statement.
It was.
They came out with a different energy.
They did.
Arteta deserves credit for that.
Absolutely.
He clearly identified Brentford's weaknesses.
He did.
Made the right adjustments at halftime.
Halftime team talk.
Halftime team talk.
Must have been something special.
Plus, his faith in young Noneri
Oh, yeah.
paid off.
Paid off big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
It was like Noneri was born to play in the Premier League.
He looks so comfortable out there.
So comfortable.
Yeah.
And what about Nketiah and Martinelli?
Oh, they stepped up.
They stepped up big time in Saka's absence.
They did.
They delivered when it mattered most.
They did.
Showing the depth of Arsenal's attack.
Absolutely.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
this win keeps them in the thick of the title race.
They're right there in it.
They're right there in it. They're still 6 points behind Liverpool.
6 points.
But they're showing the quality
And the mentality.
and the mentality to push them all the way.
All the way.
It makes this season so exciting.
It does.
The title race is wide open.
Wide open.
And Arsenal are proving they are serious contenders.
They are.
Absolutely.
They are a force to be reckoned with.
We'll be back soon with part 2
Part 2.
to dive deeper into the tactical nuances of the game and the performances of some key players.
Key players. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our deep dive into Arsenal's victory against Brentford.
We've already covered a lot of ground,
We have
but there are still some tactical nuggets to uncover.
always more to discuss.
Always more to discuss. And one thing that really stood out to me
Yeah.
was how Arsenal attacked down the flanks,
Oh, yeah.
especially in that second half.
Especially that second half. It was like,
It was like their wingers had a direct line to Brentford's penalty area.
it was.
And that wasn't by accident.
No, not at all.
Arteta clearly instructed them,
Yeah.
especially Martinelli and Nwaneri,
Yeah.
to stay wide and stretch Brentford's backline.
You could almost see the chalk lines on the pitch.
It was like pulling taffy, right?
Yes.
Stretching that Brentford defense until it snapped.
Yeah.
And all that space opened up in the middle for Odegaard and Ashaka to operate. Exactly. And Brentford, who usually defend in a tight, compact shape,
Right.
they couldn't cope with that width.
They just couldn't cope.
They were constantly pulled out of position,
Yeah.
leaving those gaps for Arsenal to exploit.
And once Arsenal got those first 2 goals in the second half,
Yeah,
Brentford had to push forward,
they had to.
which just created more space for those wingers to run riot.
It was tactical chess.
Tactical chess.
And Arteta was playing 4 moves ahead.
Yeah, but let's talk about Ethan Nwaneri. He was fearless taking on his man on that left wing.
Wasn't he?
Brentford did not know how to handle him.
He was at a little buzzsaw out there.
He was like a little buzzsaw, so direct, always looking to attack.
Yeah.
You don't see that confidence from a 17-year-old very often,
No, you don't.
especially in their first Premier League start.
Absolutely.
He was completely unfazed by the occasion.
It was like he'd been there before.
Played with a maturity that most players twice his age would envy.
Absolutely.
And those corners he was whipping in,
Oh, dangerous.
dangerous.
Almost set up Gabriel for another goal.
Almost.
Another example of how Arsenal's training groundwork is paying off.
It is.
Their set pieces are like clockwork,
They are.
always causing problems in the box.
Always.
Speaking of problems, let's rewind to that first Brentford goal.
Uh-oh.
It was a bit of a defensive hiccup for Arsenal, wasn't it?
Well,
Ben White, usually so reliable,
be a rare error.
made a rare error.
And Bivalmo,
Yeah,
he didn't need a second invitation.
he did not.
No.
It's a reminder that even the best can slip up.
Happens to everyone.
Thankfully,
Yeah, it's not
Arsenal
lucky.
have Aaron Ramsdale in goal.
He's a wall.
He's a wall. He bailed them out a few times.
He did.
Ramsdale was superb all game.
He was.
He made some big saves, especially in that first half.
Yeah, when Brentford had their moments,
When Brentford had their moments, yeah.
he was there.
And his distribution was top-notch.
Oh, yeah.
So calm and composed with the ball at his feet.
He's the modern goalkeeper, isn't he?
He is the modern goalkeeper.
Comfortable with the ball.
Great shot stopper.
Commands his area.
Commands his area like a general.
Like a general, yeah.
Absolutely. He's a real difference maker for Arsenal.
He's a huge asset to that team.
Okay, let's switch gears back to the attack.
Okay.
I thought Martin Odegaard
Oh.
had a quietly brilliant game.
He was the puppet master, wasn't he?
He was dictating the tempo, pulling the strings in midfield.
Pulling the strings.
His passing was just sublime,
It was.
always finding the right pass.
Always.
Whether it was A quick, incisive ball to break the lines,
Yeah.
or a perfectly weighted through ball
Yeah.
to send a runner clear?
Yeah, he's got that vision.
And his vision
Buoyancy.
is incredible.
Yeah.
It's like he sees the game unfold before everyone else.
It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
And he doesn't shy away from his defensive responsibilities either.
No, he doesn't.
A complete midfielder.
A complete midfielder.
It's no surprise he's wearing the captain's armband for Arsenal.
He's a leader.
Karen Carney had some interesting observations in her post-match analysis.
Oh, yeah.
She was impressed by Arsenal's control,
Yeah.
especially in the second half.
Yeah.
But she said
They didn't need to play their usual beautiful, free-flowing football to win.
it was a different kind of performance.
It was more mature,
more calculated.
more calculated.
A sign of a team growing and learning.
Yeah, they've got that experience now.
You've got that experience.
They didn't panic when they went behind.
No.
They stuck to the plan,
Yeah.
and their quality eventually shone through.
The mark of champions, right?
It is.
The ability to win even when you're not at your best.
Exactly.
Arsenal are showing they have different gears.
Yeah.
They can turn on the style,
Yeah.
but they can also grind out results
When they need to.
when they need to, and
Yeah.
that versatility is going to be vital
Oh, absolutely.
as we get deeper into the season.
Vital.
Absolutely. Now, before we jump into part 3,
Yeah.
I want to shift our focus a little. We've talked tactics, individual brilliance,
Yeah.
the impact on the title race.
Yeah.
But what about the psychological effect of this win?
Oh, that's an interesting angle.
What are you thinking?
Think about the message this win sends,
Okay.
not just to Arsenal,
Yeah.
but to every other team chasing Liverpool,
A message of
It's just-
resilience,
of belief.
of never giving up.
They're saying, we're not going away.
We're here to stay.
We're here to stay.
They're in this title race for the long haul.
They are.
And they have the mental fortitude to overcome anything.
They do.
I mean, think about the pressure in a title race.
It's immense.
Teams can crumble
Yeah,
when things go wrong.
Absolutely.
But Arsenal are showing
They've got the character.
they've got the character to handle it.
Yeah,
That's got to be unnerving for their rivals.
I think so.
This win could inspire other teams to raise their game,
It could.
knowing that Arsenal's a genuine threat.
Yeah.
Or it could have the opposite effect and demoralize them.
It could completely demoralize them.
Yeah, either way, this was a pivotal moment
It was.
in the Premier League season.
Absolutely.
It feels like the momentum has shifted.
It does.
We'll be back soon to dissect the post-match reactions
Yeah.
and analyze what this all means.
For the bigger picture.
For the bigger picture, stick with us.
Part 3.
Part 3 is coming up next. All right, final part
Final part.
of our deep dive into Arsenal's win over Brentford.
Been a good one.
Been a good one. Yeah, we've broken down the tactics,
A standout performance.
stand-up performances, even the psychological ripples of this result.
Psychological ripples, yeah.
Now it's time to sift through the post-match reactions.
See what everyone's saying?
See what they're saying, yeah. And what it all means for the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
Let's start with Arteta.
Arteta,
Happy with the win, obviously.
of course, he was really hammering home
Yeah,
the importance of staying focused.
staying focused. No getting carried away.
No getting carried away.
One game at a time.
One game at a time.
He knows this title race is a marathon, not a sprint.
Marathon, not a sprint, exactly.
He doesn't want his players losing sight of the ultimate prize.
Lifting that trophy.
Lifting that Premier League trophy.
Yeah.
He was pretty tight-lipped about their January transfer window plans, though.
He was. He didn't give much away.
No, he gave the usual line about,
Always looking to improve.
always looking to improve the squad, but his focus is on getting the best out of the players he has.
Which is fair enough.
Which is fair. I mean, Arsenal has a talented bunch.
They do?
They've proven that they can hang with the best,
Absolutely.
but with Saka injured and a packed schedule ahead,
Yeah.
do you think they need reinforcements?
I think it's a tricky one.
It's a tough one,
They've got youngsters like Nwaneri
right?
who can step up,
Okay.
but adding more depth, more quality
Yeah,
could be the difference
maybe the difference.
between a title and a near miss.
It's a gamble, isn't it?
It is a gamble.
Disrupt the team chemistry by bringing in new faces
New faces.
or trust the current squad
Yeah.
to handle the pressure.
It's a tough decision.
It's Arteta's call.
It is.
It'll be fascinating to see what he does.
I'll be watching closely.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear from the players.
Okay.
Gabriel Jesus
Yeah.
and Gabriel Martinelli.
The Gabriels.
The Gabriels both spoke after the game,
Yeah.
and they were both emphasizing the importance of
Teamwork.
teamwork and unity.
Unity, yeah.
They knew they had to raise their game
Yeah.
with Saka out.
They did.
And boy, did they deliver.
They did.
Jesus is on fire right now.
He is.
6 goals in his last 4 games. That's world-class form.
World class.
He's showing everyone what he's capable of now that he's fit and firing.
Absolutely.
And Martinelli, that goal was a thing of beauty.
It was a beauty.
Ice in his veins.
It's in his veins.
He's only 23.
23 years old.
But he's already a vital part of this Arsenal team.
Absolutely.
One thing that struck me in those post-match interviews was the confidence oozing from these players.
They believe.
They believe.
They believe they can win the title.
They're not just talking the talk.
No.
They're walking the walk.
They're walking the walk.
They believe they have something special.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to say it.
Not at all.
And that belief is infectious.
It is.
It spreads to the fans.
It's the whole club.
To the entire club.
Yeah, you could feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
At the Emirates.
It's creating a real buzz around Arsenal right now.
A feeling that anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Let's switch gears and hear what Brentford had to say.
Okay.
Thomas Frank,
Yeah.
very graceful in defeat.
He was?
He praised Arsenal's quality.
Yeah.
Acknowledged his team's mistakes.
He held his hands up.
He did.
Yeah.
He did point out that Brentford played well in patches.
Especially in that first half.
Especially in that first half.
Yeah.
He was full of praise for Mbomo.
That wonder goal.
That wonder goal.
Yeah.
But ultimately he knows
Brentford need more consistency.
more consistency.
They want to mix it up.
Mix it up with the big boys.
With the big boys, yeah.
Those back-to-back home losses will sting,
They will.
but they've got a brilliant manager
They do.
in Frank.
That's Frank.
And they've shown they can be a tough nut to crack. The transfer window opening soon.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they make any moves.
I'm sure they'll be looking to strengthen.
So we've heard from the managers, the players, the commentators.
We've analyzed the tactics, the individual performances, the psychological impact.
What's the big takeaway here?
Well, for Arsenal, this was a statement.
A statement.
A show of resilience,
Resilience.
depth, and title-winning potential.
Title-winning potential. They are a team on a mission.
They are.
And they're not going to let anything derail them.
No, they're focused.
Their focus.
And for Brentford,
Yeah.
a reminder that they still have work to do
Work to do.
to reach that elite level.
But they're a well-coached team.
They are.
And they'll be back.
They will.
Before we wrap up, one final thought for you.
Okay.
We've seen the impact of young players,
Young players.
like Nwaneri at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they're not the only club with a blossoming academy.
No, there are young stars emerging
All over the Premier League.
all over the league.
What does this mean for the future of the game?
It's an exciting time.
Are we on the verge of a generational shift?
A changing of the guard.
A changing of the guard, young players,
Fearless,
fearless,
with fresh perspectives.
challenging the established order.
It's a new era.
It's a new era. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Could these young guns redefine what it means to be a top player?
It's a question worth pondering
It is a question worth pondering.
as we watch these young stars rise.
That wraps up our deep dive into Arsenal's win against Brentford. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.